Hello, Elmont Library. It is Women's History Month. It's the Woman of Today interview series, and today we have another phenomenal guest for you. It is Miss Michaelle Solages, Assembly member for the 22nd Assembly District, representing Elmont, Valley Stream, and a whole bunch of other neighborhoods. Thank you so much, Assembly member, for coming to join us today. I know you have a busy schedule. Welcome to Elmont Library's Women's History Month celebration.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor and pleasure. And thank you to the Elmont Library for providing so many services to our community. They're really, a Swiss Army knife in our community, and they provide so many services. So thank you. And also thanks to our MC and our host.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's our second time doing this year. We did a Black History Month?
Oh, yeah, Black History Month, yeah.
Black History Month, you came and chatted with us. We appreciated that. And this time we're going to focus on, you're a 5-term legislator, has a fellow Haitian American. You were the first Haitian American to win state office in New York State. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did that feel?
It was very validating. The Haitian American community is a strong community. The people, those individuals really believe in work ethic, education, ensuring that, you do your best for your community. And, I was proud to make them, proud of being elected and being the first. And I'm glad I'm not only the first, I'm the first, but I'm not the last. We have 5 other Haitian Americans who were elected after me. And we even have a small caucus that we meet and we talk about issues. So it's really, I'm humbled and proud to be able to uplift this community. And I encourage all Haitian Americans to get involved, not only here in America, but in Haiti as well.
Definitely. The Haitian struggle is but the Haitian life is a unique life,
Yes, it is.
Haiti was the first to have freedom from enslavement in the Western Hemisphere. And a lot of things came behind that Haitians still have to deal with. So it's great to see our brothers and sisters do their thing here in America. Can you tell us, you're the chair of several committees in the Assembly. Can you tell us?
Well, I'm a member of the Health Committee, Libraries, Education, Technology, Racing and Wagering, and also Social Services. I'm chair of the Black, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Asian Legislative Caucus. And I'm also just recently, as of the beginning of this year, appointed Deputy Majority Leader, which is, a very powerful position in the Assembly, where you have influence over legislation, you monitor the floor. So many times this year I was able to, take care of the proceedings, handle all the bills. And so it's very exciting. But I wear many hats in the Assembly. But the hat I'm most proud of is that I represent the people of the 22nd Assembly District in state government. And so it's very exciting to be able to be in so many roles and so many capacities. I was elected when I was about 26. I was very young, but this community really believed in my dream and my vision and my passion. And when I remember knocking on doors and people just looking at me and say, I'm going to vote for you because not only are you young, but you are a woman. And that's what we need in Albany.
Yes. More equality. All the struggles we've been facing, especially since, let's just say last year to now, highlighted women issues, the Me Too movement, equal pay. So in your district and even overall in your state, how do you see that moving along, the battle for equal pay, gender equality?
It's a struggle, especially for communities of color. We are at a great disadvantage. Black wealth is at its lowest in this country. Women are leaving the workforce. We're actually going through a recession, but it's for women because the pandemic has caused a huge economic fallout. and many people can't afford childcare, and so the burden falls on women to take care of the kids. Many kids are doing remote learning, and who are the people behind the cameras ensuring that the kids listen and follow in the lessons? Women. And so 2021, there's many disadvantages that our women are facing, but I think we are stronger together. We see the Me Too movement. We see the movement of women standing up and taking charge of their life and demanding more. And that's what we're doing. Even in elected office, there are now more women elected in the assembly, in the state legislature, in state government, more women elected and appointed than ever before. It's because women have fought their way to the table. They say women's empowerment is about trusting women. And I think people are starting to realize that women can get the job done. Sorry, but when women are at the table, they're more inclined to be consensus builders. They are least likely to have a big ego, and they just want to get the job done. And they can multitask. Not only in the home, but in the workplace. We can get the job done. And so I think people are now seeing that, women have the opportunity to be in the workplace, and we are now being taken seriously. When we say something, we are believed and we are empowered. And so, we're making great strides, but there's a lot more that we have to do. Women are paid less. I can go on with all the stuff that women are going through,
It's 2021 that this is still happening.
Exactly. But I think now women are getting their footing. And, we're leading the charge. And I believe that in the next decade, things are going to flip, and we're going to have a men's equality day because women are going to take over.
And I'm going to touch on a touchy subject, and I don't really want to I'm not looking for a response from you. Our governor is in a situation dealing with allegations of harassment from several women. Without directly referencing that, how do you feel going to work every day?
When I came in Albany, I knew that it was a place that women had challenges. When I entered in 2013, there was a huge sexual harassment scandal. And it was said that parents didn't want their daughters to intern in Albany because it wasn't a place for them. And we had a lot of work that we had to do to ensure that we strengthen sexual harassment rules and allow women to be able to voice their concern and be believed. The Assembly actually has some of the strongest sexual harassment provisions in the state legislature around the country. And we did that because, the young people wanted to reform and make Albany a better place. And now that we have an opportunity to hear the voices of women and listen to them and, hear what happens and then be able to solve that. And it's so important that we hear those women, their concerns, so that we know how we need to act for the future. We know how we need to reform for the future. And maybe this is just an opportunity or pathway for us to get a woman governor. We don't know. But I want to say that Albany has always been a place where women lack respect. I remember the first week I was here, someone thought I was an intern. They looked at me and they were like, "Oh, no interns are allowed on the floor." And I had to, put them in their place and say, "Excuse me, I'm a New York State legislator." Albany has always been a boys club, and it's going to take, a couple of years, if not a decade, to clean it up. And that's what we're doing right now.
I hope it happens quickly, because, I personally work with the youth, girls, boys, with coding and STEM. And so I tell them they're great, they're exceptional. And then we don't want to see leadership not following that same kind of standard that we're giving to the kids.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important that if they see something, that they speak up immediately. And don't wait. If you see something, say something. Ensure that you go to leadership. Ensure that you're heard. We know that in every industry, especially in STEM, there's discriminatory practices against women and individuals of color. We heard that Google, their chief diversity officer, actually quit because Google wouldn't commit to hiring people of color, allegedly saying, "Oh, we can't find qualified candidates, which is to
And
me.
wasn't that person like pretty much knew their role a year or less?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was unbelievable. She quit because she was disgusted. So this is just a systemic issue that we have to tackle as a society. But I'm glad that it's an issue that's come to the forefront. Before, I heard, something, a woman saying that, back in the 70s, 80s, if she were to complain about sexual harassment, she would have got fired and ostracized. And so, we need to change that dynamic. But first, we need to hear the voices of the women, and we need to hear the voices of individuals to ensure that we know what's being done or what was done, and know that how we can make a path forward to make sure this never happens again.
That is great. I just wanted to say a quick thank you for coming through today, Assembly Member. We appreciate you. Now, my next question is, I want to know what's your favorite bill that you've co-authored. I know, I think you had something to do with the bill for the what do you call those things for the babies?
I do a lot with maternal health.
Yes.
It's funny, when I was elected, the first, I think during orientation, someone sat me down and said to me, there's two things you don't do as a woman legislator. First, don't get a dog. And I was like, a dog? I was like, okay. And they said, second, don't have children. It will ruin your career. People will think that, you're not serious about your job and that you're not accessible. And a week after that, I kept thinking about that. A week after I went home, I drove home, I was like, a dog. And, I was like, what's going on? And so then a week after, I actually adopted a dog, a little cute Chihuahua beagle. Yeah, blessed dog named Nico. And, I've been married for some time, and, my husband and I started a family sometime after that. And to tell you, it hasn't hindered my career. It actually only has strengthened it. And I've since then learned that, in the state of New York, we're 34 out of 50 when it comes to maternal mortality and morbidity. So women, especially women of color, are giving birth and dying. And I didn't know that until I had my own child and I had my own near-death experience. And so that taught me that, that we need to do legislation around this, and also legislation around breastfeeding. I'm a really huge proponent of, whatever food that you feed your baby, as long as you love your baby and you take care of your baby, you should be applauded. And I want to encourage women to breastfeed if they can. And if they can't breastfeed, then they should have access to donor breast milk. And so the legislation I'm most proud of is actually implementing a law in New York State that provides Medicaid coverage. That means government money is spent to ensure that babies who are in the NICU have donor breast milk. And, that legislation has been implemented for some years. And, I don't know how many babies has it saved, but it's probably saved countless of babies. Because if a baby is fed formula in the NICU, it's more likely to develop necrotizing enteritis, it's like this terrible gut disease, and they're very likely to die. And so by providing donor breast milk, they are more likely to survive and thrive and grow. And so, if I love all my bills, it's like your children, I love them all the same. But the donor breast milk bill actually was the first bill I drafted, I passed, it got vetoed, I tried again. It was a labor of love, but at the end of the day, it saved lives. And so I'm just most proud of that bill.
Definitely. Thank you for that bill and all the bills I've seen that you've pulled off it, because I pay attention. Can you give the teens in Elmont, especially the girls and the young ladies, special word from you to them?
I say to them that you're perfect just the way that you are. When I first was elected, I was an introvert. I'm still an introvert now. I'm a very shy person. I felt that I wasn't as good enough because I wasn't like Obama and an orator. But at the end of the day, I realized that I had special skills and I could do the job just as good as any other individual, especially any other man. So I say to all the teen and the teen girls, you're special as is. You have a strength. You have the ability. Don't listen to the haters. Just keep doing what you're doing. And even if you don't know what you're doing or don't know your career path, still move forward in a positive direction. When I was young, I never said I want to be a politician or elected official. I just fell into it. And it's a career that I love. So keep those doors, keep the opportunity doors open, but just always be positive, be nice, be kind, and you're perfect as is.
Side note, you worked in a library.
Yeah.
Before you was an assembly member. How dope was that? I was like, yes, that's totally dope.
Why I love libraries. That I actually was a supervisor of access services. When I graduated, I started college in 2003. And the first thing I did after going to the bookstore and picking up my textbooks was sign up for work study. And one of the jobs that was offered was working at the library at the circulation desk. And so I took it. I said, look, I'm a job. It's a library, it's quiet, I can work. And I fell in love with it. I just liked it. And when I graduated from college, I graduated during the worst depression since the Great Recession, the 2008 recession. And there weren't any jobs out there. And so I turned around to Axon Library, to Hofstra's administration. I said, hey, can I work part-time here? And luckily they had a part-time position open. And I worked there, and then I was conveyed an offer, and that I became a supervisor of access services for periodicals. So I took care of all the journals and all of the reference books. So if you wanted a book, I would help you get the microfiche. I would get I would help you with all the machines, and I would get the books back from I forgot what those big things are called again. It escaped me, but so I would do all that. And I find, again, I didn't know, I never knew I wanted to go into that profession. I fell into it and I love it. And even now as an assembly member, I always advocate for additional funding for libraries. And I can always bring that nuanced voice to my membership, saying, hey, libraries are great, support libraries.
Yes, we know, just to throw it out there, we're doing a Girls Who Code Club, about to wrap up in about 3 more Saturdays.
Nice.
So I'll tell everyone, check out what we're doing. We just had a chess event. Not a lot of kids showed up, but that was the second one. We're going to do a third one.
And we got to encourage people. Have you seen the Queen's Gambit?
Yes, I haven't seen that. Yes.
Yeah, it's for adults only. it's an adult movie. But I liked it because she was a woman in a man's game. It was about like a woman who played chess, and she was surrounded by men, but she was the best. And it was like so empowering. So, for the older teens and adults, I would say check out Queen's Gambit. But in addition, I think chess is just a great game. We'll have to encourage more people to participate.
I'm going to try my best. I'm for all your districts. Well, Elmont Library, young adults, you just listened to Assemblymember Michaelle Solages, representing your district in New York State Assembly. She's a Haitian American. She's a strong woman. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's a tireless advocate for the community. I've been watching you for many, many years, and I appreciate the work you do and your communication with the community on social media and in live events. So we want to wish you the best. We want to wish you a lot of energy and resilience, a lot of love to your family. And thank you for talking to us today. You're a strong woman of today.
Well, thank you. And I hope everyone stays safe during the pandemic. COVID's still around. So if you're 16 above and want to get vaccinated, go get vaccinated. There's a lot of places you can get vaccinated locally. Encourage your parents to get vaccinated as well. And really just continue to stay safe out there. And to all the ladies out there and all the young men too, the world is yours. So just take it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, Assembly Member.
Thank you.
Thank you.